Oh, that makes sense. Hello, everyone.
Hey, can you hear him now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Yeah.
Now we're live. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty.
I'm just an idiot.
Hey, don't beat yourself up too hard, all right?
Yeah.
The
So,
only idiot around here is Andy Reid and Mahomes.
You're not wrong.
but we got a lot to talk about today.
We do.
So let's just get into it. Big Nick, you want to just lead us off real quick?
Yep. Quick little moment of silence for nut. Fuck you, fucker. All right, move on.
Yeah, it was a quick one.
Very, very quick moment.
Very
of
quick
silence.
moment of silence. Yeah. So, should we start with that? Or should we start with the biggest? Oh
Well, we
shit!
gotta
The
do
fucking intro. Shit.
intro.
I'm like ready to fucking
Get the
roll.
clap up.
All right. So we got episode 359.
Yes, we do.
Claps. Make sure you like and subscribe. Turn your notifications on. And today we have got Guess the Athlete by their song.
Yeah,
Coming
me-
out at 8 o'clock. What
Me
the
and Dante played that. Pretty much,
Okay.
it's
I
on
was gonna say.
athletes. Yeah, you didn't play that one. Me and Dante played. Athletes, make music sometimes, and we guessed.
Oh, Antonio Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He was.
That was
he
one
might
of
be-
them.
He might
That
be one of
was
them.
One of them.
Okay.
So we guessed which athletes by song.
Yeah.
Coming
That
out
was
tonight.
interesting.
It was interesting. It was fun.
Very interesting. Very fun.
Did a lot better than I thought I would.
Me
on
too.
that. Yeah.
Me too. Well,
Um,
we'll see who got the
Oh,
dub.
but can we just another quick little before we get down to business? Can we get a quick little shout out? Johnny's now over here. I know
Yes.
we're going to be rotating, but
It'll be
an
a
official
A
thing.
rotating crew. Me
Yes.
and Dante will be
Yeah.
switching off.
Yeah.
Once
Let's
you
see.
get over here, Dante will be an official thing for you too. You
appreciate
know what I'm
it.
saying?
We'll be
You've
doing a
been
little.
over here before, but it's a
Yeah, it's
technicality.
a technicality. It's a
technicality.
fill-in.
Technicality.
Where me and Johnny are gonna be rotating going forward.
Yeah, we're both doing some hosting duties.
Oh, yeah.
We're the host with the most.
That's what they call us.
Mm-hmm. But let's
what they
start
say.
off
Now
before
you
we
know
talk
the
about
joke of the
football.
day.
Never. Thank fucking God. I'd have a problem if I did. So.
Before we get into football, let's talk about football. Other topics. The main thing to take away from this weekend: Thomas Edward Brady Jr.
Mike and I are on the same page with this. I'm telling you, until it comes out of his mouth, I don't know.
What are the 5 stages of grief? Denial's the first one, right?
Sadness.
It's it's DABDA.
Depression?
Depression.
Depression.
One of them.
Let's see.
There's some bargaining.
Denial's the first one.
Yeah.
So that's what you guys are going through right now. You're in the denial
Okay.
stage.
Okay.
Then we get anger next.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't play with
I'm
the
angry at
Patriots
ESPN for being stupid and getting it wrong.
Then we have
Adam
bargaining.
Schefter,
I'll give anything for Tom Brady to play back.
I've always said that I'll do anything for him. I'll suck his dick if I have to. Don't care.
You
I
are
love
not
that,
the
man.
only one.
Yeah.
Depression,
Yeah, pretty sad.
and then acceptance.
Never will accept
And
it.
then turning into a slut.
But yeah, so Tom Brady, as reported by Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, and like half the football world, people close to Tom Brady say that he is done. He's hanging up his cleats. That's it. That Rams game's his last one. If this is true, like,
Big if. Big if.
I wouldn't say it's a big if. I'd say little if. Little if it's true. What do you think this means? Just generally, like Tom Brady going out on a loss. I never thought I'd see that happen like that.
Because it's not gonna happen. You're right. Because you won't see it because it's not gonna happen.
So
He's not retired.
Dabda.
He has not said anything.
I think he wants to wait until he wins a fucking Super Bowl to go out.
This is what I think. I saw this one report.
I'm shocked he didn't go out after last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
I'm
I
shocked.
Thought
I
Like,
that's
all
think-
right, I went to the
out.
new team. I did it. Fuck you fuckers.
Right.
I'm out.
I saw this report that he has this clause in his contract where if
Yeah.
he's on the roster by a certain date, he gets $15 million.
That
is
If he
February-
retires, he still gets the $15 million.
He has to be
right?
on the roster
No.
By February
He can't
4th.
by
retire.
February 4th. So
Yep.
this is what I think. I do think he's going to retire. But
He's
I
gonna wait
think
till
they
after
just
that and
jumped
take
the
his
gun.
money?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
jumped
they
the
just
gun.
jumped the gun. I think, and he's pissed because, and this is why I also say that, his TB12 Twitter account put out a tribute tweet and then they deleted it
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
He's going to retire.
They thought he would not made the announcement. He was ready. He's not ready to make the announcement. I think they're going to do some Man in the Arena thing. The last episode of Man in the Arena, he's just going to come out and say, and this is it. I'm done. Although on the flip side, Tom Brady is a great story maker. He could just do the opposite and say, I'm not fucking leaving.
Could you imagine? This is what I picture in my head.
Yeah, it's
him
really
putting
called
out the
reverse
Wolf of
psychology.
Wall Street video of his
Uh-huh.
face on DiCaprio. He goes, "I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving." And
That's all you
everyone
see in
goes
your
crazy.
dreams.
That would break the internet if that happened. But I just think his dad saying he hasn't made a decision. Brady telling the GM, "I haven't decided yet," is him saying, we're gonna wait a few more weeks.
He didn't deny
and
it.
then-
He didn't deny it. If he denied it, then I'd say he's
If
not
he
done.
came out
He
and
didn't
said,
accept it either.
He said I haven't made a decision yet.
it's very, and here's the thing. I'm just going toward when I saw that he retired. I went through all the emotions because we said it last week. When that day happened, I was gonna be very upset, very emotional, and I was. I don't want to just go back and say, oh no, he's not, and then be sad again. I'm just accepting that he's done.
You've gone through Dab already.
I'm
not accepting anything. He hasn't said anything. I'm just gonna be sad again. I don't care. I'm happy right now because he's still a
It's
football
like you
player.
guys say that he wants to go out winning a championship, but what if he doesn't win one next year, or the year after, or the year after? He's just gonna
Here's
keep
the thing.
coming back.
Every athlete. All right, let's be clear. I mean, if you're playing professionally, obviously, Tom Brady's arguably the most competitive player that ever played in any sport. Let's
Sure,
be honest.
yeah,
I mean, you could argue MJ, you could argue any of those other guys, but he's definitely up there when you say competitiveness. But at the same time, it's like you said, that doesn't guarantee you're going to go out the way you want to go out. Of course, everybody wants to go out a winner,
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
he could have.
So he didn't go to the Super Bowl this year, and odds are mathematically in his carear that he will go to the one next
You're
year.
not
50%.
wrong. You're
Yeah.
not wrong. But
One thing I look at. Go ahead. No, go.
I was saying this earlier too about. I've been watching over my roommate's shoulder because they're all Pats fans. Man in the Arena, because they've been putting it on, and if you just watch Man in the Arena, it really does sound like he's done. The way he talks about football, him and Gronk both. I know Gronk is definitely done.
yeah,
I didn't think
He's
been
been
done.
borrowed time.
he didn't want to play. Brady forced him to come back and
Yeah,
play.
and got another
a
ring.
Super Bowl, but
Hey, you got
got a
another
few
ring. You got
mil.
another $20 million. So
Yeah.
whatever.
not bad.
but the way that they talk about the game and the way they talk about things away from the game, it sounds like they're done. Brady says, I'm exhausted. This thing drains me. He says the 4 weeks he was suspended in 2016 were the best 4 weeks of his life. Getting to go, he went to travel with his wife. They trained together for 4 weeks. It was just them two, and I think their kids too. He said, those were the best 4 weeks of my life. The way he talked about the game, the way he talked about everything in that documentary really sounded retrospective, as if this is a cultivating thing. I'm done. I'm tired. This is it.
I mean, you can look at the timing of this whole thing coming out too. Maybe he planned on this being his last season all along.
With
and
Man in
this
the
coming
Arena?
out was being like, hey,
I think
this
the
is it.
season finale, the last episode, is supposed to coincide with right after the Super Bowl.
Is it what? So they haven't put out every episode yet.
No,
I
One
wasn't
last
sure
one.
how they were doing that.
there's one last one, and then they could always just announce another one. 'Cause- yeah.
They absolutely could.
Well,
There's
the last
9.
one's him saying he's done.
There's
Yeah.
9 in total. So they have 8 out, and there's
You
one
watched
more
that
left.
Man in the Arena? I haven't either.
I'm gonna start watching it soon.
I don't have the subscription for it,
Really?
that's why I haven't done
Yeah.
it. And no offense to Brady, I'm not spending fucking $100 to fucking watch his fucking thing.
I'll end up on some platform at some point.
Yeah. It's,
Get it on Netflix or some shit,
Yeah.
would you?
That's what they did with The Last Dance.
Yeah.
They put it on
Waiting
there.
for
well, it was actually the Last Dance was co-produced by Netflix and
There you
and ESPN.
go. Gotcha.
So, but yeah, if this is it for Tom Brady, should we wait to talk about if this is it until it actually is it, or should we?
announced.
Yeah, we'll wait till that happens.
All right.
Let's just say this. If, my last point I'll make on this. If this is his last year and he's done, talk about wide open in the NFC.
Oh, yeah.
Wide open. Like, if I'm a quarterback, I get the fuck out of the AFC and go to the NFC. Like, Rodgers should stay in the NFC.
Yeah, no shit. Well,
If he goes into the AFC, yes, I understand Pittsburgh's a great fit, and I understand. You still got to play Mahomes, which we're going to get there. You're still going to play Burrow. You're still going to play Allen. I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Well, here's one team, and we've talked about them that could be picking them up, and I'll
40
segue
fucking
the
Niners.
49ers.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about the Chiefs in a little bit. I have one more thing I want to say about Tom Brady before we go on, which is, what was it? I can't remember what I was about to say about Tom Brady before we moved on.
Damn it, Johnny! You're the new
Thomas
host
Edward,
now.
Thomas
You're
Edward, Thomas
forgetting
Edward.
things now.
Whatever, we'll move on.
All right.
Tom
if
Brady.
it comes back there, we'll stop it.
Exactly. So let's move on to more football. We'll talk about the AFC Championship first. Bengals at Chiefs. Another great game. Bengals heading to the Super Bowl, defeating the Chiefs on a last-second overtime field goal, 27-24.
Joe Burr, baby.
Joe Burr iced
Joe
out with the
motherfucking
turtleneck before
Burr.
the game. The chain.
JB9. Are those diamonds real? Of course they're real. I
I'm
get
making
paid
too
too
much
much for them
money.
to be fake.
That's
You
fucking
kidding
awesome.
me?
That's
Are you
fucking
kidding me?
That kid has so much swagger,
He is
so much confidence.
So confident.
I mean, why wouldn't you be? First season at LSU, took him to Fiesta Bowl. Second season, won the Natty. Third season, tore his ACL. Fourth season, Super Bowl.
He's
His
the
last
first
4
number
seasons
one
in the
pick-
NFL.
First
or
number
football.
1 pick to lead a team to a Super Bowl in his first 2 years. That says something. Says something about the kid.
Yeah.
The last guy
Not
to do
for
that
nothing.
was Tom Brady.
Not for
Well,
nothing.
not first overall pick.
Oh,
Well,
fuck it,
quarter. Yeah, I know what you're saying on the first few years, but number 1 overall pick. And I'll tell you something. The fact that he was able to come back from the injury that he had,
ACL tear.
And
he didn't even skip a beat.
yeah.
and to not
better.
skip a beat, come back as quick as he did.
I
not
will
even-
say that's the nice thing about having that happen to you when you're 23, 24
You're young.
versus
You can
fucking
recover,
33,
yeah.
34.
He just turned 25 last month. We were talking about Mahomes and Josh Allen leading the AFC for a long time. We had that's like the Brady Manning. Joe Burrow being the Ben
He's
Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger.
I think it's
Yeah.
a little better. I think he can be a little bit better.
He
The
could be.
fact that the Bengals were able to beat the
Gotta give him a
Chiefs,
fucking offensive line.
they got to get him an offensive line. But I'll tell you what, the weapons that he has is perfect right now.
Oh, yeah.
You load up even the defense in the second half. 3 points.
I'm
3
not
points?
disagreeing with you, but they are going to face a very good defensive line
They are.
in the
Aaron
Rams.
Donald's gonna
And
try to take his
those
head
guys up front are what's either going to make or break that game.
It's going
Aaron-
to be an unbelievable matchup.
Aaron Donald is a heavy favorite for MVP. I'd have to imagine.
Rams are 3.5-point favorites.
All right, we'll talk about the Super Bowl in a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
right now we're talking Bengals.
We did talk about how your gambling went this weekend.
I put one bet in and I won.
Yeah.
I took the underdogs in both lines.
There you go.
So
Yeah, so I found out last night. So I told you guys I put a Super Bowl bet in for the Bengals a few weeks ago, which I'm happy about. Went on my other book, and I forgot that I put down a big Rams Super Bowl bet.
ooh,
After they signed OBJ, I put down like $50.
damn.
I put down
For
a
what,
little
to
bit
win the Super
on the
Bowl?
Rams to win the Super Bowl. So
What
now
do you, undisclosed amount of money if you win?
I'll let you guys know off
the
camera.
camera,
Off
Yep.
the camera.
undisclosed.
Undisclosed. But yeah, so regardless of what happens, I'm going to be
More than $69.
I'm going to be getting some. I'm going to be making some money. So yeah,
But yeah, so Bengals, Joe Burrow looked really good in that second half yesterday. 1st half was interesting. The game-changing point was that stop on the goal line right
Dude,
before the
I don't
half.
know, why didn't they go for the points? They should have just taken the points.
They
What the
should've-
hell happened to a QB sneak?
Well, I wouldn't
On
even
the
run
1
You're
it.
one of the
line,
best
I
guys
know.
to do a
I
QB
know.
sneak.
I know.
You run the risk because you have no timeouts left because the Chiefs were terrible at clock management for some reason. They just burned
For
their
some
timeouts.
reason, yeah.
Something that
Yeah.
Bill Belichick wouldn't have done.
Yeah. Very bad clock
Strong out there.
management. And they had no timeouts left.
Mm-hmm.
They get to the goal line. They run that screen play to Tyreek. They were running amok over the Bengals.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a laugher. Not even close.
It was looking
Every
like it.
drive, they just scored. They
3
scored.
in a row.
Three in
Yeah,
a row.
first 3.
And then they just
And they
decided not
stopped.
to score anymore.
Stop.
And I think part of the reason for that was
They thought the game was over. They thought the game was over. 100%.
They let the Bengals get back into it. They didn't. We
Like they
talk
stopped
about
trying.
we talk about teams that run the ball too much when they get the lead.
Patriots.
Exactly. A lot of teams, and they let other teams get back to it. This was the opposite. They threw the ball too much once they got the lead, and they
Should've
kept
ran the
going.
clock out.
Should have ran the
McKinnon
clock
was
a little
having
bit.
great game. The running back. He was eating in the first half, receiving,
Doesn't even
rushing.
matter. You gotta fucking shave fucking few minutes here, few minutes there.
Yeah,
You
I
got
know.
to keep. What happened was they kept going these quick 3-and-outs or quick
Yeah.
drives where they threw the ball and get incompletions because they were being well covered. Mahomes, they covered Kelsey very well that second half and Tyreek very well.
What was those two final statistics yesterday?
I can pull
Boom.
it up.
I know. I know Burrow threw for like 250 something. I'm pulling it up right now. My computer's very slow right
I
now.
got you, Johnny. I have it pulled up.
Thank you, sir.
So Burrow had 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Mahomes had 275, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
He called that. What did he say? That's what he said. He goes, they have to play, and Mahomes has to make one more mistake more.
Yep.
Two
And fucking-
interceptions to
fucking
Bro.
love that.
that interception. I was it in the fourth. That was costly
bet
for
on
the
that.
Chiefs.
Well, the one that was tipped at the line
The one
that led to a
one.
touchdown.
Oh,
And
man.
then obviously the
Shit
interception in overtime.
Yeah.
That was
At the own overtime. Yeah, I mean, like the issue with this game was one of the issues with Mahomes all season, where he kind of gets stopped and goes a lot and doesn't play like I don't know. The game plan, they ran the ball 24 times yesterday, total, the Chiefs. McKinnon had 12 carries for 65 yards. He was running the ball well. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, your first-round draft pick from last year, had 6 carries. I know he's not the guy who you thought he'd be, But when you're up 21-3, you got to run the ball more than 24 times. You got to run the ball more than 24
If
times.
anything, you would almost want to just run,
Yeah, waste
Yeah.
time.
and then maybe throw in a pass in there every once in a while.
Exactly.
Because that's all about shaving 3 or 4 minutes here, shaving 3 or 4 minutes
Time
there.
management was awful for them.
Yeah,
And
that's-
the receiver.
I'm going to say this, and I know what you're going to say when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
If Bill Belichick was the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, they win that game easily.
it was a lot
Easily.
of little mistakes that cost them the game. That's why they were sent home yesterday.
Yeah.
All right, this needs to put 2 things to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Andy Reid is not the next Bill Belichick.
Well, he's also about the same age.
Well,
Well, I'm just
I
saying,
understand.
everyone's like, oh,
Yeah.
Andy
Like-
Reid
like-
could
like
be like Bill
dynasty.
Belichick.
No, if you want to
like
talk about the next
dynasty
coach that could be the next Bill Belichick, it's Sean McVay. We'll talk about that later.
And number 2, Mahomes will never catch Brady.
I think
I disagree with that
Mahomes
one.
is more comparable to Aaron Rodgers than Tom Brady at this point.
No. Mahomes has 2 Super
the
Bowls.
expectations.
One.
He has
One.
2 Super Bowl appearances. He already has more
Yeah,
Super Bowl appearances
but-
than Aaron Rodgers.
He also
He's
has
got-
more home AFC Championship losses than Brady. And he's only 25.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, not stepping up in
One
those
of them was
big
to
moments.
Brady.
Listen, the Bengals are great, but the Chiefs are a much better team than the Bengals, and they couldn't get that done up 18.
Didn't matter.
Pat
All matters
Mahomes,
last night, baby.
2 interceptions in the second half, only 50 yards passing. I mean, I'm just saying, doesn't step up when he needed to. If that was Tom Brady out there,
And let's not take away. The Bengals defense was lights out.
Great.
they
yeah.
were.
It was
like
they
that.
were
That
like-
D
they did
line
what they had
was
to
forcing
do.
pressure on the edges. Henderson kept getting around the edge and just forcing pressure behind Mahomes. I think that was the game changer. Their D line looked like a different animal in the second half.
Yep.
And that's what made the difference. Like Mahomes couldn't
I
get
think
comfortable.
They had no choice. They had to fucking go after him.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
forced Mahomes out of the pocket. And the one thing I was saying all year about Mahomes' issue is that when you force him to play hero ball, it's a 50-50 gameplay. And that gets your odds up great. Because you're getting Mahomes, either he makes a ridiculous play in hero ball mode, or he makes a bad play.
That in overtime, the 3 passes that he threw.
Yeah.
I mean, they were.
He's out there
Phone
running
heavy.
like 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You saw this last year in the Super Bowl, and I think that's one of the things that made him look more human this year. Mahomes was this realization that get Mahomes out of the pocket. You actually want to get Mahomes out of the pocket because once he starts doing that back and forth, yeah, he might win, but you got a great shot of him making a bad turnover,
Right.
making a mistake, getting a sack.
Because
Like that's how you beat Mahomes.
That one touchdown, I think it was to Hardman in the first half, when he got out of the pocket and he was running and then
Yeah.
he threw it. Like that was an insane play, but like.
And that pass to
that's not
Kelsey
gonna-
too.
That's
Or
not
no, to
gonna
Tyreek, the
happen.
first touchdown pass.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
that's
yeah,
not
he can
gonna
do
happen
that.
all game though.
You got to take your odds though. Like he could beat you 3 times that game. If you can get him stopped him 3 times, you're doing well. And that's what the Bengals were able to do, and that was the difference maker.
I'm
Yeah.
happy for the Bengals.
Also,
The one-
shout out Zach Taylor, man, 2nd-year head coach going to the Super Bowl.
Not bad.
Burrow, but
Thank you. Yes.
still,
Come on. Let me-
he's still.
come on.
I mean, they've done a great job finding guys for that defense. I think their key 5 players in that defense are all new guys. Henderson's new.
They're young, man.
Eli Apple had that almost big play, but they're young, they're new, they're a new squad. That takes a lot of coaching. That takes a lot of coaching for a young squad like that to get the most, to maximize the most out of your team like that. And I think that goes a long way to saying how great of a coach Zach Taylor is, to be able to maximize a 2nd-year quarterback, a 1st-year wide receiver, a 3rd-year wide receiver in Tyler Boyd, a young new defense that didn't really play much together before this year. That takes a lot of great coaching, and I think Zach Taylor should deserve a lion's share of the credit for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna get coach of the year now.
Yeah, probably. He
he's
deserves
the
it.
favorite.
You think he would?
I think he's
Or,
the favorite.
Is he?
Think so.
And
I could be
the
Who
wrong.
else? I mean, you could also talk Shanahan for coach of the year, turning the 2-5 team around. Yeah, he turned 2-5 team around, got him to Super Bowl.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
For some reason, I'm thinking of Mike Shanahan. Like that.
yeah. Broncos. What is this? Actually, football team. It's the most recent coaching job for Mike Shanahan. Yeah, so shout out Zach Taylor, man. That's a hell of a job he did over there.
That's his son, though, right? Kyle's Mike's
Yes,
son,
yes.
right?
That's how he got the job. Well, Kyle was Mike's offensive coordinator, or not
In Washington.
in Washington, and he was also coach for that with him, some coach, and then he got the job in Atlanta.
Oh,
then he
we
got
all
the
know how
job.
that turned out.
Exactly. But yeah, Bengals going to the Super Bowl, first Super Bowl in 30 years, since
Good for them.
33 years since
Awesome.
'88.
Good for
Joe
them.
Burrow
I
said
got no beef with the
when they
Bengals.
won
Yeah.
the first game, he said, "This is what you're going to be getting at least every year.
Yeah.
You're going to expect this." And Super Bowl, they're going to Chiefs, Bills, Bengals are going to be running the AFC. As
And
long as
don't
they
forget
stay
Chargers
healthy.
too.
Don't forget, but I'm saying like those 3 teams, in the divisional round, you're going to be seeing 2 of those teams at least every year, as long as they stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be teams that pop
The
up
only,
here and
the
there,
only thing
but
that would stop teams like that is salary cap. Like at some point, I mean, now you're golden because Burrow's on his.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the Bengals
rookie
are fine
deal,
now. Jamar
Chase is on
Chase,
his
yeah.
rookie
Mhm.
deal.
You're
So
good
you're
for a
fine
few
for the next
years.
4 or 5 years, but then after that,
Hey, if they
Burrow's
keep
gonna
it
get
up-
paid. These guys are gonna get paid.
if they keep it
Mahomes'
up, they're
deal
gonna pay
kicks
him.
in next year.
yep.
I don't know what's
A
gonna
lot of
happen
money.
there. That's a
Lot of money.
lot of money.
Well, not only that, but again, I'm not saying Travis Kelce's
He's
slowing
32.
down, but he's also 32, going to be 33.
Hey,
Yeah, I
10
mean,
years in the league, taking a lot of hits.
Yeah, I mean, who
Tyreek
knows?
Hill, I mean, he ain't gonna get faster.
I mean, yeah, he kind of has gotten
He's
faster.
not slowing down.
He's not
He's
slowing
not
down.
slowing down, but I'm saying he's not gonna get any faster.
I mean, you don't really need him to get much faster. He's still pretty fucking good.
He's still pretty young, though, too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
turns 28 in
yeah.
March.
yeah. So Bengals going to the Super Bowl, and now let's talk about the other game.
We're all Bengals fans.
We're
now.
all Bengals fans.
Go Tigers.
They did God's work. They did
Rams
God's work yesterday.
defeated the San Francisco 49ers last night, 20-17. Came back from down 10 in the fourth quarter. Kyle Shanahan blowing the lead. Shocker.
Shocker.
That's what I know how much you say how much of a good coach he is.
I know.
He blows
Dude,
too many
Dude,
blows
leads.
too many
the
leads.
Falcons game, the Super Bowl against the Chiefs a few years ago, and
Blows
this.
too many
And the
leads,
Patriots,
man.
yeah.
He blows too many leads.
I mean, yeah, he blows a lot of leads. That's, and he almost did it a couple weeks ago. I was talking about this earlier, but Shanahan, yeah, he gets too comfortable in the second half, and he can't put him away. I don't think this one was really Shanahan's fault.
Dude, that dropped interception.
That dropped interception was the big
That was
back.
tough.
I would
man.
not
That
want
was
to be
right
that
in his
guy.
hands.
It was right in his hands.
Right in his hands.
Multiple times, he had
was
it,
an arm
hit his
punt.
chest, and then he bobbled it and dropped it. I would have been.
As Snyder would say, that's why he's a defensive back. Son.
That's
yeah, a receiver, that's for
It,
sure.
it doesn't all come down to one play, but that's the closest it gets to coming down to one
Yeah.
play.
because the next play they get
yeah.
the first down,
yeah,
and then they get the touchdown,
yeah,
Yeah.
and then that's that.
yeah.
I mean, they scored 0 in the fourth. They gave him 13.
Jimmy G.
He didn't have a terrible game.
So that
He
last
actually
interception
didn't,
caught.
but
he had
he-
232 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception.
He
and
did-
that
he did
interception
enough.
At the end was bad.
Listen, the issue was they couldn't establish a run at all. And when you can't establish a run with the Niners, as I said this last week, if the Niners can't play their game, they're not going to win this game.
Debo Samuel is fantastic, but he cannot be your leading rusher.
No.
He's-
Well, he only
he's-
had 7 carries.
No, but I'm saying he had the most yards.
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell 11 for 20. I mean,
They had 50 yards on the ground. That's
Yeah.
it. Only 50 yards the entire game. And when you're in the Niners and your offense relies so heavily on those crafty run plays, and you can't establish the run at all, you're not going to win that game.
Kittle
and they
2
didn't.
catches. Like you gotta have Kittle's got to have more than that.
Yeah, they barely got Kittle involved in the last couple
Only
weeks.
5 targets. Like, I don't get it. I don't
yeah.
get it.
I mean, they only had, Ayuk had the most targets of anyone. I don't know. I think the Rams had a really good game plan. Obviously, their D line is the X factor here. They didn't get a single sack on Jimmy G all night, but doesn't mean they weren't doing anything. I think it comes down to the rush game. That's the difference maker for them. Their ability to run stop last night was the big thing. They put a big emphasis on that. It was clear in practice.
Their
Got to
run-
stop the run.
Their O-line did when it comes to pass pro, they did a very good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, they stopped their run
Yeah.
game.
That matters way more than stopping Jimmy Garoppolo because Jimmy
Yeah, yeah.
Garoppolo's not going to beat you.
Nope.
They're not going to beat you with Jimmy throwing the
Let him
ball.
throw it as much as he wants.
Exactly. You're going to beat them by running them up and then having the field spaced out for Garoppolo, where he can do 10-yard dumps to Debo, where he just runs for 15.
Yeah.
10 yards dumps to
such a
Ayuk.
stud.
He's
Yeah.
a stud. It was seeing Aaron Donald hype up the team on the sideline
Yeah.
at
Guy's a
in the
fucking
fourth.
animal.
I was getting hyped up watching that. If
Yeah.
Aaron Donald is speaking to you, you're listening. He was like, I want that ring. He was pointing at his finger on the field and stuff like that. He's hungry, man. He wants to win so bad.
Second consecutive year that team's hosting the Super Bowl.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Never happened before. Never happened before. Now it's
And-
2 years in a row.
So
Matthew
weird.
Stafford, 1 year on the exact day, he gets traded from the Lions to the Niners.
Yeah.
Went to the Rams. Rams do exactly what they want by getting him and go to the Super Bowl.
Who would have thought going from Jared Goff to Matt Stafford would make all the difference?
Exactly.
It's the most important
Even though they made
position
it
in
a few
all
years
sports.
ago, but
You
that was
can't
'cause
do
of the
anything without a
defense.
good quarterback.
Yeah.
You
I
just
don't know
can't.
if you guys saw this, and this is me bringing up gambling, but I have to bring this up. This is just
Oh,
unbelievable.
the guy who bet the score is exactly right.
So some guy made a 2-leg parlay of a correct score, exact score of each game, odds plus 2,895,000. $20 to win $579,000.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all.
I believe it.
Well,
27. All right.
there's no way. I don't believe
neither of
that.
these scores
It's a
are completely
screenshot. I mean,
unbelievable.
it's a
Neither of
legit
these scores
thing.
are that unbelievable. It's not like the
That's what I'm
25,
saying.
22
Like, yeah,
game.
why
These
did I
are-
put the bet down? But like 27 to 24 and 20 to 17 are like, you can like think.
Yeah.
you
all
can
right,
make that.
whatever.
You could justify that as the final scores of these games.
It makes sense. But if that's true, $20 to win $580,000.
I would be running around this fucking building naked
Yeah, I
if I fucking won that bet. Are you
That
fucking
would
kidding
be-
me?
I can't imagine what was going through that guy's head, especially when the Chiefs were up. I had 21 points in the first half. I'd be like, oh, this isn't gonna happen.
Fuck.
I also want
Crazy,
to give before we move on, I want to talk Odell Beckham Jr. That
What a great
dude,
addition to that team.
113 yards.
that dude got such a bad rep by the media, by people involved in football, just because he was on the Browns, and people saying he's
I'd
done.
say he got a good, bad rap too when he was on the Giants a little bit too.
I think towards the end, because he was frustrated in New York and he showed, it was pretty. He did a lot of immature things during that time,
Yeah.
but it wasn't his play per se, and now his play was being demolished because of Baker Mayfield not being able to throw the ball, and nothing really his fault. And as soon as he goes to the Rams, he's back to vintage Odell Beckham because
Yeah.
it never left. He just didn't have the right system. I mean,
That's
last night,
it's maturity too.
Yeah.
That's like you going to a team where it's like you're not.
But McVay's not putting up with that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're not like in New York. Like he did a lot of immature things on the field, off the field, but you can kind of put that as him being a drama queen, him being young too, like him not being able to handle the pressure, all that stuff the correct way. But now that he's in a place like this, surrounded by veterans, being coached by McVay, and understanding, yes, he's one of the most talented guys on the team, but he's not the star. You're
Yeah.
not the guy that you're like.
him as a 2 is perfect.
He's behind Cup.
Behind Kupp.
perfect. If they had Robert Woods, forget about it. They
I
would
mean,
be-
they're trying to keep Odell. They're going to have money in this
They should.
offseason.
They
They're
really
getting
should.
Goff off the books. They're getting that Todd
Oh, yeah,
Gurley
that's
contract
right.
off the
They're still
books.
paying him, yeah.
They're paying both of those guys, and they're going to have about 40-something million in cap space.
Oh, forget it. That team's gonna be a fucking powerhouse. They got $40 million. They'll be able to keep him
They're
and go
keeping
get
Miller.
other guys
And
too.
they're
Yeah.
trying to keep Von Miller too.
They,
Those
yeah,
are the
they
two
keep
guys they
everyone
wanna keep.
around. I mean, there's no
Yeah,
reason
but I
why.
think they would even. I think they'd even have more money to like
To get
go
another
get
asset
somebody
too.
else too.
Yeah,
There's
They're-
no
They'll probably
reason.
sign J.C. Jackson away from the Patriots.
Jeez, that'd be nuts. If they could
Have
get,
him and Ramsey on
if,
opposite
oh my
sides.
God, they could shore up that secondary with J.C.
Did
Jackson.
you see
I can see that 100%.
Ramsey and Robbie Gould going at it, the kicker
Yeah.
for the Niners, because
Yeah.
Robbie was kicking field goals while the Rams were like getting ready on the field. And
Uh-huh.
Ramsey was like in his well, he got in his face after he kicked the field goal, but he was mad that he was doing the whole kicking while they were practicing.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, Robbie Gould is just out there doing his thing. He was pissing him off. It was so funny.
I mean, the interesting thing about the game last night, really, it was just Kupp and Beckham receiving. I mean, they got Kendall Blanton, their third string tight
He
end.
dropped that He dropped that touchdown
Mhm.
to the
Skronowitz,
Yeah,
Nick.
what his name was. Drop that easy touchdown. They could have easily won that game, the
Yeah.
Rams. They made a few errors as well.
But I mean, the Rams did exactly what they needed to do. When you build this team like this, you give up your entire future, and you say we need to win a Super Bowl this year. They could be doing that this year. They could do
Well, it
exactly
worked
what they
out for
need
the- It worked
to.
out for the Bucks last year.
Exactly.
See.
Them not having Higbee for the Super Bowl is gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big loss. Looks like he's cooked. I don't know.
Bengals.
No, well, they probably don't have their tight end either, but
Uh-huh.
Higbee for the Rams.
Except for knee injury.
And yeah, I guess the Bengals not having. I can't pronounce his last name. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Tight
gonna say the
end,
guy
yeah.
got cut off the field.
Yeah.
That was a tough
He
injury.
was in crutches after the game. So yeah, Rams Bengals Super Bowl, crazy stuff.
So there's a question in the chat, and since we're kind of on the topic, I want to bring this up now
Yeah.
instead of later. Does Jimmy G make the Steelers a playoff competitor, or is it equivalent worse to the 49ers?
Of course, I mean, they were a playoff. They were in
Yeah.
the playoffs with fucking Roethlisberger.
I think Jimmy G on the Steelers would work well.
That would make sense.
I think
You still got weapons.
you
got a
still got
very good
weapons.
defense.
That's a great offense for him to have, like a great running game still with Najee
Mike
Harris.
Tomlin, great coach.
Plenty of weapons, plenty of defense. I think that'd be Jimmy G's a guy.
He's better than fucking the guy that they have on the roster right
Mason
now.
Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph is.
I think
if they
Jimmy G
start
on the
with him-
Steelers makes a lot of sense. I like that a lot. I
They just have to
I
trade
can see
for him.
that.
I can see
100%.
that. There's gonna be so much movement this offseason.
A lot of movement.
Talking about more about movement, we got a big coaching hires this weekend.
Go ahead, say it.
Josh McDaniels.
About fucking time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See you later.
About fucking time this guy's out of here. Oh my god.
I can smell you.
Get Bill O'Brien back on the team. Get
I
him.
think he's 100. I think this is already set.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Where is O'Brien right now?
nowhere.
Alabama offensive coordinator.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
get the
I knew-
hell
I
out
knew
of
he was
him.
somewhere.
McDaniels, I've been wanting him gone for years. So
Yep.
about time. Let the Raiders deal with him. They also hired the GM.
Yeah.
Their new GM is
The
working for
player
Patriots.
personnel guy.
Yeah.
We all know fucking Belichick's the GM on this fucking boat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this: as long as it doesn't matter how much turnover happens in New England, as long as BB is still running that organization,
They'll be fine.
it's like saying don't bet against Tom, not betting against Bill. Not
Mm-hmm.
doing it. Not
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. Let's call
He's
Las
embarrassed
Vegas
of what happened on
Patriots.
that defense. He's gonna shape that defense up.
I hope
Has
so.
to. Don't have a choice.
I hope so. I
Well,
really
here's the
hope
problem.
so.
They're not going to have a lot of money either because
That's-
they got a lot. They
they-
spent a lot of it last year.
They got to give it to the right people. They got to bring back J.C. Jackson.
I don't
they,
think it's going to happen.
They have to.
I
If they
agree
don't,
with
that
you, but
secondary is.
they're
gonna
not,
be
they
very
don't
weak.
pay. They don't pay.
I
They
know.
will
but
not pay. If
he-
he if he gets a 17, 18 million dollar a year salary, they're not paying it. They won't do it. That's just not. That's not their
He's
MO.
26. He's young.
Oh, I agree with you because I think their secondary sucks with him. Never mind without him.
But yeah,
And I'm not saying that's because of him. I'm just saying that secondary is brutal.
If they lose him, they better go out and get some guys because
Ugh,
if not,
well,
they're-
who are you gonna get? You gonna try to sign Stephon Gilmore again?
Oh yeah,
Not
he's gonna be
happening. He's a free
That's
agent.
right,
What are you
yeah.
gonna sign Stephon Gilmore?
Yeah. well,
Love Stephon. Met him. Great guy. But he ain't the same player.
he's older too. Yeah.
He ain't
and
the same guy.
Injuries. I don't know, but good for the Raiders. Hey, they want to become the next Patriots.
How many more years does McCourty have too?
So he's a free agent now.
He's getting
Is McCourty a
old.
free agent?
He's a free agent. He hasn't decided if he wants to play or not. Here's the one guy that has to go. And I love the guy. But he's got to
34.
go.
Don't say it.
Hightower's got to go. He's got to. You and I both know it.
I know.
You and I both know it. That's what I just said. I love the guy. I love the guy. But
Yeah,
I
he's
just,
slow.
He's slow as shit.
He's slow.
He's slow as shit. And the way he tackles somebody, it's like,
I-
what the hell are you doing?
It looks like his arms stop working when he tries to go and tackle somebody.
It's like he gets there. It's like, oh no, I don't want to hit you.
Yeah. And he's so fucking big. It's like, why not just try to fucking hurt the guy at that point?
Matthew Judon also
Just-
needs
there's
to.
no speed on the freaking on that side of the ball.
Matthew Judon also collapsed by the end of the year.
Oh my
Yeah.
word, that
he's,
fucking
He's
killed
got to
us.
figure it out too, whether
Oh,
he was
he's getting paid
injured
like
or
it.
whatever it was. But
He's getting paid like it.
yeah, I was gonna say the amount of money he's getting paid. Also,
He gets $16 million next
get
year.
Janu Smith involved more.
Oh, my
Why is
fucking
Janu
word.
Smith not getting any fucking targets? in
Here's
your
the thing
playoff
that I
games?
hope for from the next
Hunter
coordinator.
Henry's better.
He is better, but you're still paying him 12, 13 mil a
Yeah.
year. You got to use him somehow.
Here's the thing that I hope for on the next coordinator for the Patriots. I know that this whole rookie quarterback, second year, the offensive coordinator thing, I'm not that worried about that because the system is the system, and Bill's still there. And if you bring in a guy like Bill O'Brien or some shit, like, they're going to bring in somebody who already knows the system. Chad O'Shea, he's out of the league right now. They're going to bring in somebody that knows the system. They're not going to bring some new guy in. So, I think the
see.
Bill O'Brien thing's already been talked about. I think
I
Bill's
think
already had
that's
this
a done
conversation
deal,
with him.
yeah.
I think it's already done.
I think it's a done deal.
I think it's a done deal. So, but yeah, fucking smell you, McDaniels. Get some new blood in this shit.
Yeah, go
Get
ahead.
some new blood.
I'm totally fine with it.
You know what I mean? Just been here for a long. Get some new blood.
Yeah.
And then we had another big coaching hire. Bill's offensive coordinator. What's his name, Nick?
Bill the ball.
Bill Dabble.
Dable.
Dable.
Brian Dable.
Brian Dable. Bill Dable.
Brian Dable.
Brian
Brian
Sorry,
Dable.
Brian
There we
Dable,
go.
my
Took
bad.
how many people to take to
Too
get a
many-
name?
too many
Brian
fucking Bills.
Dable, yes.
Brian
There it is.
Dable.
Yes.
From the Bills.
From the Bills.
From the
Bills
Bills.
offensive.
Bill offensive coordinator
From
Brian
the Bills.
Dable going to New York
God
to be the
love
head
this
coach of the
hire.
Giants.
God
I think it's a
bless
great
him. Love this
hire.
hire.
God bless him. Good luck.
I think.
I don't
Listen,
know
you
if
need.
any coach is gonna fix New York.
You got a lot of
The-
things to fix over there.
I think of any coach, you want someone who could be an offensive-minded coach in New York, definitely with those weapons that you have with Saquon. You want a guy to figure out Galladay, whatever his problems are. He can't catch the ball anymore, and you want someone to figure out
Yeah,
Daniel Jones. And this is
Oh, how about
This-
Saquon Barkley?
yeah,
Gotta
it's
figure him
Saquon
out,
too. Exactly, and this is an offensive-minded coach who's done wonders with Josh Allen as quarterback, drawn up some really great offenses. Now Daniel Jones is not Josh
I was
Allen.
gonna say that's
He
That's
doesn't
a
have the
big
skill set of
difference.
Josh Allen. He doesn't have the men. Well,
We
Josh
also
Allen
need
didn't
to
have
see
the
if
brain,
Josh,
but
Daniel Jones can even fucking play because of his neck injury. And
That is
stuff
also
like
true.
That. We gotta see what's going on.
I
with
think
him.
this hire shows they probably can play. Because I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't hire this kind of if you're going to rebuild. You're not going to hire this kind of offensive coach. I like the hire though. I think it's a good hire. I think it's a good fit. I think it's exactly what the Giants needed.
What pick do they have this year?
The guy
They
at
had
the
two
top.
top 10 picks. Fuck. Ugh, they have 2 top 10 picks. I
Let's
don't
see.
remember exactly where,
This is
but
such a weak draft too.
it's a great draft for like DNs and like offensive linemen. It's not a great skill
All right,
player
so the
draft.
Giants have 5 and 7.
Yeah.
So can get some
Don't
guys.
fuck it up.
They got an offensive tackle and defensive end. They have it. Yeah, I mean the top picks. You don't see a quarterback going until 11 on this mock draft. So
What is that football team? Drafted
yeah,
Pickett?
Kenny Pickett it
Yep.
says here, but there's a few other guys that.
Also,
That's a
Quarterback
very
goes
weak
in the top
quarterback
10.
draft.
That's a disgrace.
Very weak.
I don't even
quarterback
think
draft.
there's a first round quarterback.
I think Pickett will go first.
Saints.
round.
Matt
They will, but
Corral,
like I don't think they're.
Steelers,
Should.
Malik Willis. I think the teams that need quarterbacks are going to target them, but it's not.
I really hope the football team doesn't draft a quarterback because last time they drafted a quarterback in a weak QB draft in the first round didn't really turn out too well, and I don't really want to take that risk. with
RG3.
Dwayne Haskins.
Oh, I thought,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I was thinking. I was like RG3.
I was thinking RG3.
Yeah.
Nope, we drafted Dwayne Haskins with the 15th overall pick. Yeah,
That one tough.
I don't blame us for that pick. It was not a bad pick at the time. Haskins looked pretty good in college. He just didn't want to put in the effort.
Tough.
Tough.
Yeah, tough. Now he's in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
All right, that's
All
all we
right.
got for football talk. A lot of football.
Yeah, still
Uh,
got a few more jobs out there. Brian Flores is going to get one of them. I know he is.
Yeah,
he's
he's
going to
yeah.
get one of them.
Oh,
for
did you
sure.
see what's his name? Harborough is going to get announced for the Vikings.
Yeah, he's getting an interview.
I heard that there could be an announcement coming today. that-
Wow, Jim Harbaugh might be one of the Vikings.
Yeah.
Why would he want to leave Michigan? The
I
one
saw
year
a
he actually has
report
good year
that
there?
said that the announcement.
Not only
is
that, why
gonna
would you
be
go to
made
Minnesota?
I mean, they got a lot of great weapons in Minnesota. You can figure that out pretty. Like in the weak NFC, get the right quarterback in that system. I mean, that offense is lethal.
Here, oh, here we go. Let me.
You
I
guys
wanna
think?
find.
Do you guys think Bieniemy? Sorry, do you think Bieniemy leaves or stays?
I think we're too far in the process. I guess maybe when he throws his hat in the ring and teams come fishing, but
There's
like
still like 5 jobs available.
there's still 5 jobs available. But a lot of these are in the second round of interviews already. I think if he wanted to, he had to put his hat in the ring a little earlier.
Yeah, they're saying Jim
process.
I think
Harborough
he's just
could
gonna
either
wait it out
go
I think so, too.
Vikings or Dolphins, but there's a report that says that they can announce Vikings can announce him as their head coach as early as today.
Wow.
So yeah, keep your eye out for that, I guess.
Kind of came out of nowhere.
That means he's gone.
And it
He's
says
gone.
that he's very interested in the
He's
Vikings
gone.
head coaching.
He's gone. He's got the. Yeah.
He's going to get a lot of money wherever he goes.
Yeah, he's gone. Well, that Vikings gonna have to pay Michigan. I think a lot of money to get him out of there. I think too.
They had a interview on Saturday night with the Vikings, him in Minnesota.
Well, so if that's the case, then the only ones that would be left are Miami, New Orleans.
Chicago hired someone.
Chicago hired, yeah. They
Hired
hired
the Colts defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
fucking stupid.
What
I
other-
will say this about the Colts defensive coordinator is that he's done a really good job in Indianapolis as D coordinator. Took a unit when he took over was 29th in the league as a defensive unit. Made him a top 10 unit, especially last year in the COVID year when there was no practicing and no training camp.
Coronavirus.
He made that defensive unit into the best part of that team, which helped them get to the playoffs. I think he's a good coach. We'll see, what he can do with the offense, but I don't think it's a terrible hire now that I've learned more about him.
Texans too. Need to hire
Texans.
someone. They're gonna hire McCown.
That's a
They've
disgrace.
interviewed him like twice.
That's a
So,
disgrace.
Josh McCown,
Yep, Josh McCown.
like the quarterback.
They
Yep.
interviewed him last year, and he was still on their roster.
Yeah. They like him.
It's
There's a reason.
hilarious.
Listen, I gotta say, there's a reason why this guy stuck around the
Second
league
year in a
for
row.
20
yeah,
years.
I mean,
almost.
he is a glorified backup.
He's a coach.
journeyman. But if he knows the game, he knows the game.
Yeah.
And on the Texans, I mean,
Yeah, who
the
cares?
expectations aren't going to be sky high.
Exactly.
For him, so
All
hilarious.
right.
So I think those are the only jobs that are available, right?
It looks like. I mean, if things break down in Seattle, Pete Carroll is out the door. That could be. An interesting thing. But
that would already happened.
I think it would have already happened as well. At this point, if anyone's
I can
gonna
see.
be
I can see
fired,
that being a late leave for Carroll.
I think it's going to come down to what Wilson does too.
Yeah.
Like if they come down to the one or the other type of thing.
Yeah, but you're
Carroll's
gonna run
gone.
out of all the guys that you could have had for that job. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Well, yeah. So for now, there's only like 3 or 4 teams left.
Yeah. I'm tired.
Wake up.
Wake up, Mr. West.
Mr. West.
All right. Moving on. Big Nick, I know today's animal fact of the day, so we're starting with an animal topic now.
Wow.
Um,
I'm biting.
all right. Well, speaking of biting,
I'm biting.
escaped lioness kills keeper in Iran, prowls zoo for hours.
Nice.
So the
That's what you get from fucking with the lion.
So the Iranian media is reporting that a lioness killed her keeper as he was feeding her lunch, then escaped with her male partner and prowled the zoo before being captured. So
That's terrifying.
Hey, just one day these people will learn to not keep these things in captivity.
speaking of Big Nick, you saw the news on Friday?
Yeah, well,
Joe Exotic?
got another 20 years.
No, that
No,
guy
they
got
took off a
reduced.
year.
Took off 1 year of his sentence.
So instead of
Oh,
22
1
years
year.
sentence, it's 21.
Yeah, they took off 1 year of his whole sentence.
Wow.
Yeah, big news.
Wow.
Let's go, Joe.
For what reason? What? It was too harsh to
Good
be at.
behavior.
Good behavior, I guess.
Joe Exotic. Good
Yeah, like
behavior.
why?
Those
Why?
go
Yeah,
hand in
like that
hand.
doesn't even make a difference at this point. How old is Joe Exotic?
Didn't you say he's like stage 4 cancer?
He's got
too?
stage 4
Yeah,
cancer.
what kind of
See it,
cancer does
dude.
he have?
It's like fucking prostate cancer or some shit.
Jeez.
He's 58.
Worst one you can get.
He's a fucking mess.
He's 58 and he has prostate cancer. Yes. Yes.
He's a fucking mess. He's not gonna get out of prison alive.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's not gonna happen. So,
Poor Joe.
Poor Joe Exotic.
JoJo.
All right. Next on, we got a lot of fighting topics today.
This
Wow.
one's great.
Fight breaks out at a Russian promotion hardcore FC press conference. So it's a press conference to promote fighting and like a UFC fight for Russia's UFC, and a fight breaks out at the promotion.
This was Russian UFC?
Russian.
That makes sense.
So you can watch. We have the video right here.
These
Great
guys
video.
are going crazy.
The end is
Oh.
the best part.
Ooh. Oh damn! This
It's
is
like a
high
real
quality.
fight.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a real fight that broke out.
That was just like for the promotions for the fight.
I mean, it's really high quality footage they got for this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on in Russia UFC? Kind of like
They
it.
look like they were ready for this.
These guys actually like
Start betting
would
on
kill
this.
each other. Yeah, no kidding. Oh my god.
Skip ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, then he breaks out. Oh! Shit!
Holy
dude.
shit.
I love it.
So for those watching at home, the guy sits down. He sits in his chair. The other guy comes charging at him and does a flying kick to the chest, sending him backwards in his chair. Wow!
No fucking rules. I love it.
Wow! That's nuts.
That's great. When's the next UFC?
Let's get Hasbulla
Big card
on
is
this
the-
shit too.
11th, I think.
11th?
The weekend of the Super Bowl, I think, is a big card.
Weekend of the Super Bowl. Wow, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's good sports weekend. Yeah. Anyone got anything to say about that?
Yeah, I need Hasbulla to fight. He's
Yeah.
been training. I keep up with him daily. So
Who do you fight?
What?
Who do you fight?
The other little guy.
The other little guy.
Yeah, the other little guys. They got beef, dude. They got
I know they got beef. What are they beefing over? Can they come?
yeah.
I think just who's the best little guy around. Which is obviously Hasbulla.
The 12th. Yeah, you got Israel fighting Derek Lewis. Yeah,
Oh,
this
that's a
is
good
gonna be
fight.
This
Yeah.
is gonna be a good card. All right, cool.
All right. And then, so this weekend we were all snowed in. Lots of snow this weekend, right, guys?
Fuck.
Tons
Yeah,
of
how is
snow.
it near you? How is it?
Yeah.
in
Sucked.
Austin? Yeah,
Sucked.
not good.
Big time.
How much do you think you got?
Probably like right around 2 feet, maybe a little over.
I think I got like right around 18 inches.
Yeah,
near my
that's what I was
house.
gonna say. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we got about 2.5 feet, I'd say.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, I
That
mean the
sucked.
tough thing about it was because the blow, the breeze. It's kind of hard. 'Cause some places would have like a massive mound
it
of
really
snow.
wasn't
Yeah.
that hard cleaning out my driveway and stuff on Sunday because the wind, like our cars were like fine. Like
Yeah.
they were, the wind blew.
I can show you.
everything
I'll show you a
off.
photo of my car
Probably wasn't great.
that I took. So this is my car.
Wow. Look at you.
Brutal.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Got a lot of fucking snow in that car.
Yeah, got a good amount of snow on that car. But this is a video of two guys who had a dispute while plowing their streets. And they got a little bit of a snowblower war.
Either they hate each other or they just don't know how snowblowers work.
No, this was beef.
I think it was beef.
This was
So these two
This is
guys
so
have
funny.
snowblowers, and they're just blowing snow directly in each other's faces. like
so funny.
right into each other's faces.
Fuck you, man.
And then he starts
Fucking
blowing it
right
right into his yard. Yeah.
So funny.
I love it.
He
dude.
just starts backing up.
It's honestly so funny.
That is.
Yeah, because I mean
That's
the
New York
snow
City
is going
for me.
right in the guy's
New
yard.
York.
I mean that's a tough place.
Yeah, that was
That's
in New
tough.
York.
So
Um,
funny, man.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Do you guys? I mean, I don't think you got either, any of you guys here own a snowplow.
Yeah,
You do?
a snowblower.
A snowblower.
Yeah.
So that's why it was easy to shovel your driveway. You didn't shovel your driveway. You
Well, we
snowblowed
just
your
moved the
driveway.
cars into the street and then yeah.
Oh, that's a cakewalk.
Yeah, no, believe me, we got that a few years ago. Lifesaver.
You got to shovel. It grows hair on your balls.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't. I have enough. I have enough. I'd rather be hairless than having to shovel every time
Yep.
this happens. So
Yep.
believe me, it's a pain.
Yeah, snow blowers are lifesavers.
It really is. Yeah.
And then the last topic we're talking about more fighting.
A lot of fighting.
The pillow fighting championship.
Yes, the
What?
pillow
It's a
fighting
thing. It's a
championship
real thing.
in Miami,
enter?
Florida. Pay-per-view event featured 16 men and 8 women. Each competitor is given a specialized pillow.
A lot
and
of
they
these guys
just-
have like MMA backgrounds.
Yeah,
and
so you can
stuff,
see.
too.
It looks like I think it's like a UFC type thing
Mhm.
because like it's a real fighting. Like
How do you take that seriously?
I don't
Imagine
know.
Getting knocked out by getting hit with
How do you
a pillow.
train?
Dude,
Just
how do you
arm
So
movements
stupid.
and
how do you
stuff.
go into the ring with a pillow and not just start laughing at yourself?
Probably just a lot of lifting, to be honest. You gotta be strong to nail someone in the head to knock them out with a pillow.
The winner
Could you
earn-
imagine getting knocked out by a
pillow,
pillow?
like a
you know how hard
KO?
you gotta get
There's
hit?
no way that's possible.
I think you could.
I don't know.
Dude, the pillow has to be made of like rock.
You get hit hard enough in the right spot.
Pillows are
So
so
the
soft.
winner of the fight gets $5,000.
Oh,
The winner of the cards
Jesus Christ.
and a title belt.
World heavyweight pillow fighting champion.
Best hits? Hold on, I want to see if there's any knockouts in this.
Yeah.
And I'll
So
show you guys.
that's
Was there anyone in attendance for this?
I can't tell. It looks all dark behind them.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. The pay-per-view. How much did it cost to watch this thing?
Like maybe 50
All right,
cents.
this is kind of ridiculous. There's no way you knock someone out doing this.
No. Unless you get hit with like a fist with the pillow.
Yeah.
The pillow itself is not knocking anyone out. I don't
This
think.
is kind. This looks like they're like in a train, like they're in a gym training. Like it doesn't even look like an actual arena. I wonder how much it was.
Big Dick, would you like to look up your animal fact of the day?
I would love to.
Animal fact
Do
Mondays.
we got any viewer questions, Dante?
Yeah, let me take a look. All right. The Jimmy G comment right there. Blah 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 blah. Oh, Mike, we got another Bruins.
Oh my God, they got
Zach,
They looked horrible last
smacked
night.
last
What do
night.
you think the Bruins need to do to get back to winning?
They got smacked 6-1.
Smells like a rebuild's
dude.
coming.
Probably. I mean, yeah. The,
All right.
the next couple of years for the Bruins / maybe the next 10 years is gonna suck. I mean, they were playing well. The season's not over. They should make the playoffs, and we'll see what happens. They're not gonna win the Stanley Cup, but we'll see.
Let's see.
We got a few just comments. The Big Dill says, "Great stream the other night. Thanks, man. Appreciate it." Me
Yeah.
and
How was?
Unbelievable. It was so much fun. So
Yeah.
me and John went live on YouTube for like 4 hours watching the Royal Rumble wrestling pay-per-view.
Yeah, fuck it.
And we were consistently at like 250 viewers and stuff. And then as the event went on, at one point we had like 450 people
Damn.
watching.
Damn.
I think 6,000 people in total ended up watching. But we were on for a while. We were drinking, having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. So thanks for...
How was Royal Rumble?
It was like
All
kind of underwhelming.
all I know is
Ronda
Rousey
Rousey came
showed up.
back. Brock Lesnar won. It was fine. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you're with people, like you enjoy watching it. Like John was with his roommates. I was on the call with John and his roommates. So like we were having a good time. I was drinking. So like once those start flowing, you're enjoying a little bit more.
That's sick. You drink alcohol. That's fun.
Sometimes I was having the Fuzzy's vodka that we got because I had
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
else to
That
drink.
is very inappropriate, Dante.
Yeah, it's very inappropriate.
People
Dante.
kept calling me. Someone accidentally called me Andre, and at that point on, everyone just kept calling me Andre. So that was pretty.
I'm
funny.
sorry, Miss Jackson.
I am for real. Big Deal also says Johnny should sell snow shovels. Shovel your driveways. It grows hair on your balls. Great
Yep.
slogan.
That's my slogan for shoveling driveways.
There you go. Yeah, that's
That's about it.
Yeah, that's all we really got.
Well, Nick's got his animal fact of the day.
I got my animal fact of the day here. Real interesting one today.
Let's do it.
We're gonna talk about some skunks today. Oh shit.
Hey, oh,
That's
hey,
not a skunk you're smelling. That's just Casey walking in from outside his car.
Oh! Hey, oh!
Roasted like rotisserie chicken.
Hey, yo.
All right. A skunk's stripes point out its sprayer. If it seems like the skunk's stripes are pointing right to where the noxious spray comes out, that's because they are. A 2011 study found that animal species that chose fight over flight when faced with a predator often have markings that draw attention to their best weapon. So while a badger has stripes on his face to highlight his sharp teeth, skunk stripes are perfectly positioned to highlight their ability to spray potential threats. The researchers thought this might help keep them safe while conserving their energy and efforts. Better to intimidate a predator away than to spray him.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Very
That's interesting. Quick little story before I continue. Rocky, God bless his soul. He did get attacked by a skunk a few years ago, and that was fucking a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yep, had him outside, do his business. All of a sudden, I heard a little skirmish, and all of a sudden, it smelled awful, and I go, fuck!
Yeah, that's a tough
Do you
situation.
have a tomato bath?
No, actually, it's a myth.
Yeah.
It's a myth. The tomato
Would've
bath's
loved
a
to
myth.
known that.
Did you
That-
try?
That happened to my dog too, and I was
I remember the story. You went to Price Shop.
every for some reason I was home from school because I think like everyone was like on vacation or something, so I had to watch my dog. Literally all the time I put him on a leash. This time I didn't. Ran across the street, sprayed by a skunk. Luckily there was a 24-hour Price Chopper. I like go in at this is like 2 a.m. So I go in. I buy like 8 gallons of tomato juice. I pour
That must said skunk problem.
yeah. Pour it in the bathtub. And my dog like hates baths, so like getting him in was impossible. Got him in, like got the tomato juice all over him. Got him out. Immediately shakes.
Oh, no.
Bathroom covered in tomato juice. And I was just like, what the fuck do I do? What do I do?
Oh.
Covered in tomato juice. Still smelled like a skunk. It was a nightmare of a night. Oh, it was awful.
Yeah, we literally gave him a bath, and then we called up a professional grooming company, drove them, and said, "Look, we are having a friggin' awful time with this right now." And we literally said, "Give him bath after bath after bath after bath." And we literally paid for like 4 or 5 baths. And it was awful. Had to rip the rugs out of the freaking basement.
Yeah, it's
It was
such a bad
disgusting
smell.
because it just lingers.
And the smell like directly on him doesn't smell like skunk. It smells like
Piss.
just like bad, like acid, like going up your nose. It burns.
Yeah, fucking
Oh,
skunks need to die. I mean, they're just
I
fucking
agree.
awful.
I agree. Skunk
All right.
babies are adorable though. If you've ever seen them,
Just to make sure they don't spray it.
I know.
Skunks do a little warning dance. If the stripes don't work, a skunk will try to scare off a predator with a complex warning dance. In an effort to avoid having to actually spray the scent, which would render them helpless until they can reload, Snay, the skunks will run through the series of maneuvers intended to intimidate, including stomping the ground, slapping their tail, and their smaller spotted skunks engaging in an awkward
This
dance.
is a baby skunk. What a little guy.
Baby
Yeah, they're
skunks
adorable,
are so
dude.
cute.
They're adorable.
Here's like the baby skunk spray.
So skunks dance, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
They dance.
A skunk spray is powerful stuff. No fucking shit. Skunks can shoot their sulfur-smelling defense mechanisms up to 10 feet out of their anal glands.
Ooh, that's a tough.
That's kind of funny.
I hate those 2 words.
Anal glands. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it's so-
Those are the best 2 words in the English language put together.
Aside from the offensive smell that lingers for days or even weeks, the spray is intensely irritating and can cause temporary blindness in anyone unfortunate enough to get caught in the stream. That's exactly what happened to Rock. Rock couldn't see for like an hour. It was tough. Yeah.
That sucks.
Even if you're nowhere near the scene of the spray, can still suffer the unpleasant consequences. People can detect the scent from up to a mile downhill.
Makes sense. Yeah, you can really
That's a
smell
strong-
skunk.
You can smell from a long way away.
Strong smell.
I'll tell you one thing too. I ran over a skunk one time.
Ugh.
Oh, it was terrible. Fucking
yeah.
guy went right across, and I mean, I just hit him, and boom,
Tough.
car fucking reeked. Boy, oh boy, the car wash membership come in handy there. I went right in, and he goes, "Wow, your car stinks." I go, "Put it in."
Yeah. Keep going. Take loops. Keep going around and around.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
All right.
One last one. Okay, this is an interesting one. You can fight skunk smell with chemicals. In an unlikely event that you get sprayed by a skunk, or more likely your dog does, shout out Rocky.
Shout out.
Simple soap and water won't get rid of the stink. Falk wisdom suggests that dosing yourself or your pup in tomato juice will get rid of the scent. I have heard this is a fucking myth. This is a fucking myth, people.
It is a myth.
But all you really doing is masking it. See? All you're doing is masking it. And even then, only to someone who has olfactory fatigue, thank you, from exposure to the skunk spray. Huh. Interesting. That's all it said.
Fully banish the smell.
Oh, that's right. To fully banish the smell, you need to alter the chemical makeup of the thiols. 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 Whatever the fuck that says. Which can be easily and cheaply with a mixture of baking soda and hydroperoxide.
Okay.
Well, there we go. Hydrogen peroxide, baking
I
soda.
have no intentions on getting hit by a skunk or Rocky getting hit by a skunk ever again, because Rocky does not go in the backyard once it gets dark.
Yep.
He goes across the way, fucking pick up your leg, do your pissing, and go back in the
Get
house.
back inside.
I saw a video of a wild coyote in Boston yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like a big old,
Boston?
yeah, downtown.
Shocked.
Guys all lost.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, he just can't find his way with all the snow.
Yeah, true. Ain't that the truth?
All right. Well, that's all the time we got for you guys today. Big Nick, you want to hear us with a sign off?
All right, so we got through our first episode without Nut. R.I.P. Fuck you, fucker. F-U-F. Fuck you, fucker. And that's a wrap, folks. See you
a wrap.
tomorrow.
Smell ya.